Hi, everybody. It's Jake. We are in San Francisco. My mother is here to help her mother. I will say no more. It's a private, personal matter, but we are here as a family and we're having the best time. The reason I'm telling you about it is because when we started this episode, we planned on covering the Epstein files and the Texas floods and the Mecca Hitler grok, which we do get to in this episode. But as we started recording, my mother started talking to her mother, who was off screen and didn't want to be on camera. And it was just such a lovely back and forth that I decided just to let it flow. So it's different than our usual podcasts. We get to the good stuff at the end, but I think you'll like it. It's a rare look into someone's life, and I know you're all big fans of my mother, and I just think it's beautiful. So I'm going to pretty much air this unedited. Like I said, we do get into the news and the good stuff later on in the episode, but you know, I think you'll enjoy it. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you because you were going to watch it and go, when's the show going to start? Do they even know they're taping? And yeah, we knew we were taping and we had a good time. So my bubby is talking a lot in this episode and she is off camera. So I apologize for the low audio levels. I do my best to bring you guys good quality. It's not easy. I have trouble every week because my mother's, shall we say, vocal range is difficult to edit around. But anyway, enjoy. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. We've been doing this for a little over a year, and you guys have been wonderful through the ups and the downs. And, you know, we're going through it. So we just love you guys. That's all. Thank you very much. Bye.
Greetings, Earthlings and humans, and what you got, what have you. What are they, Jake? Nephilim, Grossarians?
Grossarians? What is that?
I don't know. It's just coming out. Retardadians. Trying to get in a flow. Satan worshippers, groks, fucking
Mega Hitler.
Dipshits, Jew hating motherfuckers, Nazis, clandestines. I don't give a fuck who you are. God sent you here today, and you better be glad you're here. Anyways, most importantly of all is animals that are listening to me because they know the sound of genius and they know the sound of authenticity and, brilliance. Animals of the world are far more intellectually refined than the human because they do not need to bullshit themselves in order to feel any joy in life. So welcome to all my animal spirits out there and friends. But even greater than any of that, today, my 93-year-old person who created me and gave birth to me is sitting there on the couch next to my son who I created and gave birth to. And it's a 3-generation circle here of people. And I'm so glad to have my mother with me. I thank God that my mother is with me. And so this show today is for my mother. She's a little bit of a libtard, but you see, she's 93 and she can't help herself. And she's waking up little by little. At least she likes Trump now.
You like Trump now?
What?
You like Trump now?
Trump.
She doesn't like Trump. Or
You don't like Trump?
I think she's
He did
afraid.
a few good things.
He did a few good things, she said. She's not
What
quite
are you talking about, Mother? You said, thank God for Trump, what he's doing for Israel. Didn't you say that, Mother?
Yes, I do say that.
Okay, then. Welcome to Roseanne Barr podcast.
Oh, you see, my patience is growing thin.
Anyway, here we are. And, I've interviewed a lot of geniuses. As you know, I love to speak to geniuses. They're the only people I want to talk to anymore. Free thinkers and geniuses, not robots or bots or groks or what have yous. people with an agenda, people who are pushing something, although I will be selling something and I use all the products I sell here, except for we don't sell Manscaped anymore, do we?
No, advertisers buy runs. They don't
Oh,
they don't come back week to week unless you're killing it for them. But it's really hard to tap your audience with the same product over and over. So they like
yeah,
to
because
work.
I don't like hawking my audience. If they like anything, uh, get it. If you don't, it makes no difference. It's helping out my family, so I thank you.
Yeah, no,
And I got a lot of family, starting with my mom.
yeah,
Is Mama 92 or 93? I can't remember.
she's 92.
Oh,
Um, and we
my
are here.
mother's name is Hinda Ruchel, and she is 92.
Mhm.
She's a beautiful woman and always was a beautiful woman. In fact, her whole gestalt was about being the most beautiful Jewish girl in our community there in Salt Lake City, Utah. Which, when you look back, Ma,
Pretty low
you know,
bar.
you know what I mean, Ma. There was you and Barbara Arnovitz. You were the two supermodels, right, Mom?
Yes.
She said, "Yeah," and you were prettier than her, I imagine.
I thought I was.
And Mom was telling us this morning, Mom, I hope you don't mind when I tell about how you used to love it when guys whistled at you.
How I did what?
You were telling Hannah. She was telling Hannah, for the audience that can't hear, Bubs. Hannah was asking her if my grandfather was her first, because Hannah's a romantic, and Bubby's like, no, I was kind of a. And then she stopped, and then she said, I used to enjoy walking down the street for the boys to whistle to me. That was my purpose for the day. And she would get out and she'd dress up and she'd walk and she'd wait for the whistles and she'd go home. That was her day.
Did you like that, Mom? Did you feel like a supermodel or something?
I like to hear them all whistle.
She'd like to hear him whistle.
And mostly the construction workers, they were really good.
Construction workers whistled at you the most?
I think so. They'd scream and whistle, and I liked that.
So Bubby would get dressed up and go to the construction site in a
What were
dress.
you wearing when you were just parading your ass up and down the road, Mom?
What would you wear when you were showing
What would
off?
you wear?
Just a dress?
Regular clothes.
Like a thong and a lingerie?
I always dress like a lady.
She dressed like a lady.
Okay, what does that mean, Mom? You wore pants?
Yeah, I didn't show anything above my elbows or above my ankles.
Nothing above the elbows or above the ankles, she said.
That's what Mother taught me when I was a little girl. She said a woman should never show anything above, below, what did you say, below the ankles or
Above the elbows, below the ankles. Above the
Never above the elbows.
Never above the
But you
elbows.
could stick your boobs out as much as you want.
Tons of cleavage, she says. Smush them together.
Why with the elbows, Mom?
It's just the way my mother taught me. I was raised in a very Orthodox family.
Yeah.
That was the restriction.
Yeah, you had to be very modest. But so what did you wear for a shirt, Mom? Did you wear blue jeans? Ever feel like your brain is stuck in neutral even though you've eaten right and you work out? Surprise! It could be parasites hitchhiking in your body. Dr. Alan McDonald, an actual scientist, not some TikTok quack, found a link between chronic parasites and serious brain disease like MS. These suckers can mess with your nerves, your memory, and your mood. That's why I do a full body parasite cleanse at least once or twice a year. All you do is fill out a quick form and they will ship you a 3-month supply. No drama. My girlfriend's a comedian and her sister's a comedian too. Well, her sister was walking across the kitchen floor, doubled over in pain, agony, and she had a dress on, I guess. But anyway, my friend said a great big old parasite found its way out of her rectum.
Oh, okay.
That it looked right at her and then died. Head to twc.health/RB and use the code RB to save $60 off plus free shipping. Cleanse out your body today.
Yeah, we all wore blue jeans and blue shirts.
What kind of blue shirt? Like a button down?
They were like a Levi, or sometimes you could wear like a sweatsuit, just so you weren't showing anything above your elbows or above your ankles. But like I said, you could poke your boobs out as you went along, and that made them really whistle.
So how would you get your boobs out of a sweatshirt?
Huh?
When you wore a sweatshirt, how did you show your boobs?
Oh, I just stuck them out.
Oh, you just posture. You didn't like cut a V-neck in your.
Oh, no, I was modest.
Yeah, modest. You would just walk around.
But Mom, you had a waist. What was that like? That's one thing you deprived me of in my DNA.
She said you didn't pass down your waist. And what was it like to have a waist?
Oh, we wore these corsets that you tied around your waist, and it made your waist really tiny, and it made your boobs stick out.
You wore corsets under your sweaters?
Stand behind you and put their foot on your back and tie it. But we all wore those.
I hope the audience can hear you. I know you don't want to be on camera, right?
No, but turn up her sound.
You don't want to be her voice. All right. She said she'd wear a corset and someone would have to stand behind her and put their foot on her back and pull. And I thought she'd go to the construction site with a corset and a sweatsuit.
But she'd have she'd wear a proper shirt over the corset, right, Mother?
Yeah. Yeah. She says yes. She's nodding. So that was
you also had quite a nice behind for a Jewish girl, didn't you, Mother? You had a nice tuchus. That's what they all said.
Nice butt.
Nice tuchus.
That on, I sure did.
She said that was all the corset. The boobs, the butt, the waist, it was all the corset. What happened when the corset came off? What, did you not have any of those features?
I think I was very well built.
Oh, she said she was well built.
Yeah, she was well built. And I saw her in a swimsuit, and of course, all the Jewish guys in the community wanted to get with Mama.
They
right,
still
Mama?
do.
I didn't hear her name.
She said all the fine Jewish gentlemen wanted to get with you when you would be in your swimsuit.
Yeah, there was always a following, which I enjoyed.
Well, it hasn't gone. Bubby, you're 92. I still see it. I've got
no, she's still sexy. They still,
yeah.
The men love her. I mean, I always was in awe of Mama being that way. And I thought maybe it was the waist, because I know Mama had a waist and she didn't wear a corset once she had her kids, right, Mom?
Did you wear the corset after you gave birth?
I had a waist with that corset on, but I had a nice body. I gotta say, I was well built.
Mama, what was your measurements?
Well, we like to have a 40 waist and a 40 boob and a 21 waist. That was good. And,
damn, we need to go back. We fucked up.
And what about the butt, Mom? What was that measurement? 40 bust, 21 waist, and what was the butt?
And the butt was kind of cute.
No, what was the measurement?
What was your butt measurement?
I don't know.
She never measured her butt.
No, you do know your measurements. 40, 21, was it 39?
You know, I don't remember, honey, but I had a nice bottom.
No, but you told everyone your measurements all the time. I think it was 39. 40, 21, 39. Mother, you used to say that to everyone when I was a child.
Yeah.
She doesn't remember. She's 92. Some memories are faded. including the
Anyway,
size of her
everyone
ass.
thought my mother was so gorgeous, and they would call her Liz. She looks just like Liz Taylor, didn't they, Mother?
Yeah. She's still a looker. I've
Mama,
seen her kill
what
two
was it
men.
like? Were you able to bewitch men with your beauty?
Is it able what?
To bewitch men with your beauty.
Yes, I'm sorry to say,
Yeah.
I delighted in that.
Not only was she able to do it, she delighted in doing it.
Oh
And she
my
still
God.
delights in it. I don't know why she's acting in past
She
tense.
thinks she still thinks, and I think it's true too, that she could get any man on earth that she really wanted,
I
no
believe
matter
that you
their age.
believe that. Yes. Admit it. Why don't you put on a bikini now and come on the podcast? We'll see what happens. We'll check the email
Well,
inbox.
she's old now. I mean, her boobs. We've got to get her a bra to hold her boobs up, Mom.
It'll probably have to be custom made, right, Bubs?
You might
Yeah.
have to get a custom made Jane Russell type brassiere.
I got to tell you one thing that happened to me. They had a big dinner in the bottom of the synagogue in about the year 1948 when Israel became a state.
Yeah.
And they had a special guest, and his name was Francis X Bushman. And he was the movie star hero of the silent movies. And they picked me to serve him. And the rabbi told me, go from the right side and be very, very careful. And when I went, I spilled chicken soup all over him.
Oh no.
Sex Bushman told me someday you'll tell all of your grandchildren and great grandchildren you spilled chicken soup on Francis X Bushman. And he said, you're beautiful. I got lots of other pants. Wasn't that nice?
That is nice.
The rabbi
Oh,
wanted to kill me, but that was Francis X Bushman.
why did you spill soup on him? Did you trip?
I just got nervous and I spilled it all over his lap. And he didn't get mad. He was so sweet. And he said, I know someday you'll tell your grandchildren you spilled chicken soup on Francis X Bushman.
That's how you know Bubby was
The
pretty.
whole world, and so that's great.
Yeah.
What a kind man. I don't know anything about him. I'll have to look him up.
Said he sounds lovely.
He was so lovely.
What did he do, Mom?
He was a silent movie star.
Oh.
And then in later years, I think he was in movies where he spoke.
Oh. Who was your favorite movie star, Mother?
Francis X Bushman.
I'm going to look him up. X Bushman?
Francis
X
X Bushman.
Bushman. Mom, what movie star did you have a crush on?
Oh, he's a very handsome man.
Is he?
There he is for our audience, yeah.
Oh, he's quite cute. Is he Jewish?
Yeah. He's Jewish, right?
Oh, he was at the Jewish
Yeah.
dinner in the synagogue.
He's in Hollywood.
Oh.
They're all Jews in Hollywood. Oh, 1940, 1950, what year? 48?
Mama, wait, let me
Definitely.
ask Mama. Let me ask her some shit. She'll never tell me unless she thinks she's on
Wants to
TV.
keep talking to you.
Okay.
Mom,
Yes.
so you had your pick of all the Jewish guys,
Yeah, I had a few.
and so you fell in love with the one Jewish football player in the world, right?
Yes. Trying to think who he was.
Jerry.
Your husband.
I fell in love with my husband too, but I shouldn't say this. He made me mad at something he did, and I guess I still have to work on forgiving him.
Who?
Jerry?
Jerry.
What did he make you mad?
He, Roseanne had colic really, really bad,
Yeah.
and his sister was coming to see my baby, which was then Beanie. And the place was a mess, nobody there to help me. I took all of the dirty dishes and all of it, hid it in the oven, hid it outside the window, had it all over. And then when he came home and you were still on a hot water bottle with colic, and I showed him where I put it all, and instead of saying, I'll help you, he said, you better not let me find anything like this again. And I've never forgiven him for that.
Who I wouldn't forgive him either.
Yeah.
That's how men were then, though, huh?
What'd you say?
That's how men were then.
I guess they were.
I'm still like that.
I guess they were. Not all of them were chauvinists. There were sweet men that did everything for their wives, too. I loved that there were men that came home and gave their children a bath.
Yeah.
Feed them. Those were my heroes.
Yeah, that was pretty
The
sweet.
good men that did that.
Yeah, men are handsome when they're good fathers, aren't they?
What'd you say?
She said men are handsome when they're good fathers, aren't they?
When they're good fathers and good husbands, they're beautiful.
Yeah, I think so
They're
too.
to be admired. They're to be adored and taken care of.
That's correct. Well, so
Amen.
let me think of some more stuff.
And then what happened was you went to the store for me. You went across that busy street. You went to the store.
Oh, yes, I still have the
The
scars.
store gave you $1 too much in change. And I thought, this is an opportunity to teach Roseanne values and trust. And I made you go back across the street to give him back the money, and you got hit by
A 4-lane highway.
Yeah, you got hit by a car, honey. You had to have surgery.
Yeah.
Bottom of your lip.
Yeah, I still got the scar. And
Yeah,
here,
went
where
through your
the
lip.
knife went through, it went through my chin, and I bit down.
Yeah.
And, I
And
can't
then
remember.
when they operated on you,
I was lucky I didn't bite my tongue off, they said.
What, honey?
They said I was lucky I did not bite off my tongue. Think about that. Had I bitten off my tongue, I would never become an international sex symbol.
Actually, you might have had better luck.
That was the most terrible thing.
Yeah.
And what did I say, Mom?
Table. I still remember your long dark hair hanging there. It was the most terrible day of my life, but you came through fine.
They stitched me up with no anesthetics.
Jeez.
And Daddy was standing there going, I was screaming, and I was in an unusual
And I'm so
position, like
sorry.
what that was at John Podesta's house, that statue of torture.
Yeah.
But
The arch.
my dad was saying, can't you give her something? Can't you give her something for the pain? And the doctor said, do you need to step outside? We will handle this as we see fit. And Dad, I could feel Dad was just dying because he wanted to beat the fuck out of the guy. And I was screaming and they didn't give me nothing. And my dad say, how many more? And the guy said, 2 more stitches. And my dad said, there's only 2 more. My dad talked me down from out, but they didn't even give me any anesthetic. Neither did they give me any anesthetic when they performed a root canal on my tooth when I was in 3rd grade in Utah. They believe that children can't feel pain.
Mom, there is a new thing on the market. We sold this once before, and you loved it because it had the word fatty in it because you and I are children. But it's actually brilliant science, and I won't waste your time. Please be quiet, baby. I won't waste your time explaining it too much, but it's developed by the Navy. And it's C15. I have little notes here from fatty 15, but I'll tell you this. It is the first emerging essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years and has all these breakthroughs on helping you with healthy aging. And it's a tremendous thing. So I think you should tell your audience a little bit more about it, because our audience is old. I've looked at the demographics. We have some old ass people that watch us, and they should.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they're the only smart people out there.
Well, Fatty 15 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels to help support your long-term health and wellness, especially as you and I age. You could get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/RB and using the code RB at checkout, because they're so fucked up.
Is that the Mormons?
It's you know, I don't say it by religion anymore, because God told me not to say that, because that aids in the satanic division. God told me to say the captured.
I like that.
Those captured by the Satan, the god of
That's
lies.
awesome. I love that. I'm going to
hatred. That's that. Yeah, and I had to go through a lot of fucking torture to get this sewed and this sewed with nothing, and then to get a root canal when I was in 3rd grade. And that guy, he would, my sister said this too, he would go over, our dentist, and he would go over to a little cooler in the corner and swig some fucking, I think it was screwdrivers. Sis doesn't think it was screwed, but I do, because he'd come back and he was a lot looser in the root canal. And then I tried to get the root canal fixed some 50 years later, and they said, oh no, we can't do nothing. And by the way, there's a lead needle in your tooth that goes up to your sinus, so you'll always have sinus problems. A lead needle. I mean, it's a wonder I'm still fucking alive. And Mama, can you please tell them when you were crazy and went to the dentist and asked them to pull all your teeth when you were 18?
You pulled all your teeth out when you were 18, Bubby?
18.
Why would you do that? What was the reason?
Because I was so afraid of dentists. Our dentist was such a mean bastard.
Yeah.
They have children's dentists. Children love to go to the dentist. This man was so cruel and mean. He never even used Novocaine. And I went and begged him to pull out all my teeth. And your dad said, if that's what you want. And the dentist told me it was against everything he believed in his whole career, but he did it.
He pulled out. Did he use Novocaine when he pulled your teeth out?
He put me to sleep. That's why I did it. So I was 18.
So let me get this right. You were afraid of the dentist, so you went to the dentist to have every one of your teeth removed. That was your solution.
Well, to me, because the dentist we had was so mean. He was so mean, Jake.
Why didn't you just get another dentist?
I know, it was too dumb.
Get another dentist or rip all the teeth out of your head. That was.
I said, if you just put me to sleep, and when I wake up, I never have a toothache again.
Well, that's probably true, and obviously you
Yeah, you don't have a toothache, that's for sure. I know that one. I had a lot of teeth pulled because I didn't want no more toothache ever again. Those are worse than having 5 babies.
Yeah.
How come Daddy only had 16 teeth?
Later on, he lost some of his teeth. He had a beautiful smile, your dad.
Yeah.
He had a really pretty smile.
What happened to all his teeth?
When he got older, he just had cavities, had different things, and one by one he had them pulled. Yeah.
He ended up with 8 teeth on the top and 8 teeth on the bottom, remember, Mama?
She said he had 8 teeth on the top and 8 on the bottom total. That's what she
Yeah.
remembers with the
And
cheese.
they put caps on them.
Yeah. But you'd pull those out, right? Oh, caps on the remaining
Yeah.
teeth? Oh.
Yeah.
So.
He had a beautiful smile.
Remember when Dad almost burned the house down with that machine he was using to peel off the wallpaper?
What?
I guess he almost burned down the house when he was taking the wallpaper off. The kerosene machine or something. And
Yeah.
then CPS came and made.
He was wonderful, but he had a bad temper. If he got mad at me, he would sit in the corner in his chair and yell at me to go away. Don't come near me. Stay away. So I would dance and put one leg in, and then I'd put both legs in, and I'd make him laugh. And once he was laughing, he got over it.
Yeah, I know. If I could make him laugh, he wouldn't hit me in the head.
What?
She said if she could make him laugh, he wouldn't hit her in the head. That's why she's a comic.
Yeah. He wasn't easy, was he?
No. She said he wasn't hearing.
Weird. Huh?
I didn't know if you could hear her.
He was.
Remember when Dad liked to gross us out all the time?
When Dad would gross her out, he liked to gross us out.
He was so gross, wasn't he?
Yeah, he used to gross me out too.
He did the grossest thing that ever happened in this world.
What?
And he didn't want us to tell what he did because that was so gross. So he said we made him play with his puppet. Or I don't remember what he accused us.
What was it that he did was gross that you couldn't tell?
The grossest thing he ever did, are you going to be ashamed if I tell him, Rosie?
No, I love it.
No, it's a Roseanne Barr podcast. That's what it's about.
He did what he called a BBS.
BBS. What's that?
Remember
Yes.
BBS?
Yes, I remember the BBS.
Yeah, he put his finger in his belly button and then he'd try to make you smell it. That was a belly button smell, but we called it a BBS.
Ew, and you'd just be standing there and here comes the finger like this. And he'd come from behind with the BBS and going, and you didn't even know he was there. And he would do it like at any time, like when we were eating.
He's got a BBS. That was his specialty.
Yeah, he used to take his teeth out and put them in my hand when I wasn't looking. He'd be like, hold this, and I'd be watching TV or whatever, and then I'd look, and it was his dentures.
Yeah, he lost his dentures many times.
No, he'd stick it in my hand. That's why I have a teeth thing. Probably gave us all PTSD.
Hey, tell when Dad had a heart attack and he was driving himself to the hospital, pulls over and has a cigarette.
Yeah, that's our favorite Jerry story. When he was having a heart attack and he pulled over to have a cigarette before going in the hospital. Because he knew they wouldn't let him smoke in the hospital, so he stopped and had a cigarette.
He lost his teeth too.
Explains so much about you, Mom. Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought people should maybe know.
Yeah, it's backstory.
Yeah.
This is your villain origin story.
How funny was Dad, though, Ma?
How funny was Jerry? Probably the funniest human I ever knew.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He just said whatever he thought. He was pretty funny.
What's the funniest thing you ever? What's the funniest thing you ever heard him say, Ma?
What's the funniest thing you ever heard him say or do?
The funniest thing he ever did?
Yeah.
He was in the hospital and I came to visit him and he called in the nurse and he said, please don't shut this door because my wife comes up here and expects me to perform whatever vulgar thing he said. And don't shut the door and leave me alone with her, please. And And the nurses believed him.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna.
That was so embarrassing.
Did they look at you when you came there, like that you were some
when
wild
I
animal?
came in, they always kept the door open.
I
And
would
I
do
thought that was so funny.
that is so funny.
Yeah. But
What other shit did he do like that? Didn't you fall down? Oh, you fell down on the courthouse steps, you told me.
He fell down.
You fell down and everybody was looking and Daddy says something horrible to
Oh,
you.
you fell at the courthouse, and then Jerry said something horrible.
Oh, that was so humiliating and so terrible.
What did he do?
I was taking a crib over to someone because we were through with it. And my kids were singing and laughing. And when I drove up to open the door, there was a policeman there. And he said, "Did you know your girls they had their tohuses bare on the window and they were mooning him?" And he said, "I didn't know that." He said, "Well, when you hear a siren, you're supposed to pull over." And I didn't hear the siren, and I didn't know it was Stephanie and her girlfriend. They truly had their butts bare and were sticking them out the window at the cop. And he said, "I'm so sorry that you didn't hear that, but I'm going to have to give you a ticket. I don't want it on your record, so you'll have to go to traffic school." So I went to traffic school, and Jerry said, "I won't let you go there alone, honey. I'll go with you." And when traffic school was over and we went to walk out, Jerry started screaming at me, and he said, "You got to quit drinking and leaving the kids home alone. You've got to knock this shit off." And that's what he did to me in the traffic school.
Did you fall too, or no?
No, but it was so humiliating.
That's so good. I'm taking notes on all
He thought
these.
it was so funny. He said, he shook me too.
Legend.
It was so funny.
It is funny. It is.
It
Objectively.
is funny, but it was humiliating, and he yelled in front of all these people. "You've got to quit drinking and leaving the kids home alone. This is enough of this." He was funny.
He was funny. He was the
Mama,
funny.
remember there was a daddy-daughter date night, and I don't know why I thought everyone's supposed to come in a costume. Remember that?
Yeah, you went on the daddy-daughter date. I don't remember what happened.
Well, I thought they were supposed to wear a costume, so we dressed Daddy up like a woman, and we put makeup on him and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was a good sport, wasn't he?
And we got there, and none of the other dads were dressed.
Yeah, all the other dads were in suits and dressed up. You made up for that. You fixed him up that time.
Yeah.
And they gave him a special prize because he said, "My daughter said it was a costume party." And so they gave him a special prize, and he accepted it, and he goes, "I'd like to thank my daughter Roseanne for telling me that this was a costume party and for allowing me to win this wonderful award."
Yeah, and you kept telling him, "Close your legs."
Oh, yeah.
You remember that? Close
Yeah.
your legs.
Yeah.
This is humiliating. Yeah, that was a daddy-daughter night at the Mormon church.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
You used to make us go to the Mormon church, huh, Ma?
I did, and I apologize.
Why did you do that? You thought God wanted you to do that, right?
I kind of thought they had something real with Joseph Smith.
What?
I believed a lot of stuff at that time that was insanity.
Like what?
I made you kids go there. But then I would teach Sunday school at the synagogue every Sunday.
Did they know you were going to the Mormon church?
No, we had to keep it a secret.
Yeah. But I learned a lot of things at the primary that I used at the synagogue. So you poor kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were.
Well, I like that you were my Sunday school teacher because remember, Mom, it was you who cast me as King Ahasuerus in the Purim story of Esther. Remember, Mom, my first play?
You were King Ahasuerus.
Yes, you cast me as that.
I do remember that. I was kind of crazy, wasn't I?
Who played Esther, Mother?
I had to be Esther every year because I went to the only girl that went to Hebrew school. So I got that.
You were the only girl that ever went to Hebrew school out there?
There were 27 boys and me. My mother said you'll go to shul and you'll know how to pray and how to daven. It was not fun.
Oh, buddy's got a phone call.
Turn off your phone, Ma.
I did. So all of those people there at the synagogue were in early childhood development.
Uh-oh.
They made you one of the counselors. And there was this ugly, hideous child.
Can you turn her phone off?
Let me turn this off.
Here,
I keep calling Jake Ben. I keep calling him my brother's name.
They had all these early childhood development people, but they gave you a chance to be a counselor.
Yeah.
And this freaky, ugly, little horrible person she was an ugly little monster, and they tell her to hang up her coat and she'd throw it on the floor. And they said, maybe you could talk to her. Do you remember you talked to her?
I do, and she hung up her coat. Do you remember that, Mother?
You told her you were going to beat the shit out of her if she didn't hang up her coat. And right then, and she hung up her coat, and they all said, you were an amazing early childhood person. Do you remember that ugly
I
little
do remember that. And I did want to go into early childhood development so I could like really teach kids the right thing. Like you should fear two things, the law and God.
Yeah,
You think, Mom?
I think you were awesome. You were awesome.
But then they didn't like me because they asked me what did I say to her name was Marina. And they asked me how did I do that? And I said I told her I was gonna, slap her if she didn't do it. And then they fired me. Remember?
I didn't hear you, honey. Say that again.
She said they were going to fire her because she threatened to slap her.
They asked me what I said to her, and I told them.
Oh, that didn't go over well.
And so then they made me be the camp counselor for the 13-year-olds.
Yeah, how was that?
I think I straightened a lot of them motherfuckers out too, Mama.
I think so too. And you taught them this thing that they were on a bus, and when they pulled the lever to stop the bus, you crossed your legs and went cross-eyed. Do you remember doing that?
No.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing you ever did. And then one night they had the camp talent show, and you made Beanie go out and do the man on the bus.
Yeah, I remember that.
You send her out to do the man on the bus, and nobody laughed. They thought it was crazy. Do you remember that?
I remember the man on the bus. That was our
Yeah, that
Private
was
laugh factory at home.
the thing. But
Yeah, we saw a man on the bus one time when me and my sister was going downtown, and I guess he had to really poop. And he was leaning up against the pole there, just fighting for all he's worth to keep it in. And we thought it was the funniest thing we ever saw. And so we always made fun of it and we embellished it. And so then I wanted sister. She did a great job because she could go cross-eyed. She could do cross-eyed better than me. That's why I chose her. I would have did it, but I couldn't do the good cross-eyed.
you did very well. And the night of the talent show, you sent Beanie out to do the man on the bus, and everybody thought our family was crazy. But she went out and did it. Nobody laughed.
Totally bombed.
That was pretty funny. Oh my gosh.
But I love that you were Esther in the what was it, third grade play?
What was I? I was always Esther.
But this was a third grade play.
Yeah, I always got to be Esther because I was the only girl that had to go to Hebrew school
Oh.
with 27 boys. And
And so you were always Esther?
yes.
Did you like being Esther?
Yes, and there was also a guy that was always my king. He's still alive. Whenever we see each other, we scream, "My king, my queen." And I hear he's pretty sick, and his wife didn't like it. But
Did you like to flirt with men in front of their wives?
maybe.
That's a yes.
I did a little of that, didn't I?
Yeah, probably.
You
Just-
really were a flirt. I watched you because I was your fat, ugly daughter, in case you didn't notice, eating her hair in the corner, chewing on her hair. And I would watch you, the way you were around men, and it was unbelievable how these guys, I mean, they just fell under your spell, shall we call it.
The most ones were the construction workers. They were. Yeah, I guess I was a tramp, Rosie.
Whatever. What do you think when you look back? Would you have done something different?
Would I do things different?
Mhm.
Probably not. Maybe.
Are you happy with the way your life has turned out for you,
I think
for
so.
the most part?
I think so. I've had great loves in my life, Rosie.
I know.
I've had really great, beautiful loves that their memories something I cherish. Yeah.
Yeah, you had 3 great loves, right?
Yeah, I think Arnie was something, Rosie. Remember Arnie?
Of course, we all loved Arnie.
Come Friday night, he'd always bring me a bouquet of roses. He paid to have my driveway done. He left me a lot of money, which I left in there, and one of his sons used a lot of it. But Arnie was a good person.
Wasn't he in the 81st Airborne, Mama?
Yes, he was. And he had his hat.
He always wore the 81st Airborne hat because
Yes,
whenever he went to
he did.
McDonald's, some soldier would buy his lunch, right, Mama?
Yes. He was something very wonderful in my life. And your dad was too, but I never forgave him for that when all the pots and pans and stuff was dirty. And he told me better not find anything like that again or I'd be sorry. And I thought, that's not what a husband's supposed to do.
Mm.
But he was a He was a good husband. He did a lot of good things. But he had a bad temper. Remember his temper?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in reality, he probably was the funniest person I ever knew.
His sister was funny too, wasn't she, Mama?
She was nice and funny, and she'd come to see my baby. And when her baby was stillborn, she hated me.
Hmm.
She was a miserable, I don't even say her name. She was so terrible. Anything she could do, she just hated me, but it wasn't my fault. Her baby was stillborn. I don't say her name. It's a
Yep.
vulgar, nasty name.
Well,
Yeah.
let's talk about some good memories.
Some good things.
Yeah.
Well, you were the only one in this class that stood up for what you believed in, and that teacher put you in the closet all the time. What was
Oh,
that?
yeah, that was sixth grade.
Who was that horrible
Oh,
man?
let's not go there. I don't want to get sued. But
Yeah,
yeah, he thought he was a joker. But anyway, yeah, it's weird. It was weird. Do you think it was weird being a Jew, an Orthodox Jew in Salt Lake Mother?
I think it was, honey. I think it was. And your mother sent you to primary on Tuesday and Sunday school on Sunday. You poor kid. Did you know what you were?
I knew I was like living two religions.
You knew what?
She knew
I
she
knew
was
I
living
was
two religions.
living two religions.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, it was cool. But I like the one where you can eat pork.
Yeah. That one was the Mormons.
Yeah.
You like
But
pork.
yeah, there were so many God rules in my mind being two different religions, and both of those religions are alike in a lot of ways because they're they have a mystical subtext with a lot of rules for obedience in both. And
Yeah.
so I had so many God rules there in my head, I could never have any damn fun. But I think what it taught me is I did learn self reflection. Being two religions, it helped me to become self reflective, which I told you the other day I was on my tractor and I heard God say to me, you need to teach Jewish people about self reflection because that's something they've taken away from you. God said that's what they wanted to do and what their experiments were all about to remove your memory banks where you remember your indigenous power. And God said, you got to teach the Jews about self reflection. And I'm like, okay, I will. So I'm going to. But it is hard to develop if you've lived a life in privilege, in the privilege bubble. There is no self reflection in that bubble, and that's how I think they've won this war so far. The war between good and evil. They're ahead, it seems, but
They are.
of course they're not. They're exposing themselves right and left. It's fantastic to watch it. The artificial intelligence, it's so great that the artificial intelligence created by MK Ultra mind control, which America's been under since the end of World War II, when they brought all the Nazi fascist scientists over here and gave them sway over the space program, the medical program, the psychiatric program, and
Education.
then, huh?
Education.
Well, that came later with Robert S. Byrd.
Yeah.
But no, and then they allowed them to mind control through the CIA media, generation upon generations, to spread the Nazi message. Germany lost the war, but the Nazis won.
Mm-hmm.
And they went on to become the UN and the WEF and all,
CIA,
huh?
the CIA, the OSS, the
Yeah,
CIA.
MI6. It was originally OSS, the
Mm-hmm.
German, and they changed that to the CIA, blah, blah, but it's all the same. It is OSS. And where is the center of it? Why, in the UK on the British throne. And guess what? The British royals are German.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Even Alex Jones has been
Jeffrey
talking about it.
Epstein in this Find the Jew charade we're playing in America right now. The Jeffrey Epstein thing, I just did an interview because I'm so sick of it. So I said, yes, it's Spot the Jew, because the people in power always put Jews in the window to disguise themselves. We don't know their names. All we know is that they are in Switzerland and they own the Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank of all central banks, which is owned by the British Royal Crown, City of London, and Vatican banks. Yeah, there's some history for you. So maybe move on be on the whack-a-mole find the Jew thing, because it's
Well,
way beyond
can I
that.
ask you a question, Monk? Because we talk about this all the time. Even Alex Jones talks about this. Ian Carroll was on our show, and he even said, like, if you just see the Jew, you're not going deep enough. Like, Jews are complicit. I just want to be really clear. Or correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you're saying Jews are innocent and like a token of the royal class. You're saying that they're maybe first or second level, but that the people really pulling the strings are the royals and the Bank of International Settlement. Do I have
Yeah,
that right? Okay. Just
the
because
royals that
a lot
we
of,
would accept, that we would say Epstein, 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 Mossad, all the shit. Mossad is owned by MI6. Hello.
Alex Jones talks
So is
about
the
talk about
CIA. Hello, you
yeah.
fuckers. And
Well, the UK founded the
is a client state of the
yes.
United States. Okay, it doesn't clandestine. It doesn't dictate American policy. It is a client state
Yeah.
where all the aid we give Israel, they are forced by your kind to buy American made weapons to keep your bullshit lady. Are you a lady now that you married a lord? Your royal ass on top of the fucking pyramid. But that shit is over. Okay, anyhow,
Well, hold on. I
back
got
what?
it's important to note that MI6 and Epstein and all this stuff, because this week there's huge news we got to get into. Like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi basically came out and
I'll
said,
tell you why they shut it down.
well, tell people that have been living under a rock. They're basically saying there was never an Epstein list. It's all done. Trump said, why are we still talking about Epstein? We're all heartbroken as MAGA because we want justice. We don't like child sex trafficking. Trump was the guy we put in power. And he's like, all of a sudden, a lot of us feel heartbroken and turned on. MAGA's split right now. And I'm not with Trump right now. I'm really pissed off. Like, how the fuck can you sit there and go, hell, we're still talking about that child sex trafficking network that runs everything? Like, you haven't moved on? No, we're never going to move on. That's a big deal. People need to go to prison, and we need to know who they are. You're not going to brush this under the rug. So we're all pissed. MI6 and Mossad and the CIA are all complicit. And my issue is that everyone's saying Epstein's a Jew, Jews run everything, but it's really kind of like this group of MI6.
Here's how mind control works.
Yeah, it's not. It's
But as we're sitting here, Epstein, Jew.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess who was Epstein's benefactor? Who got him the island? Who got him the money? Who got him the prestige? Who helped him invite royals there? Because that's who went there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're not releasing it. But guess who? Prince Andrew of
Andrew.
the Royal House of Windsor, Germans.
Mhm.
And, hopefully they see themselves with their Fourth Reich coming into power. And of course, I'm not going to let that happen. The Fourth Reich. Nope.
And you saw
They
Grok.
thought they were going to, they were doing the Fourth Reich through Chryslam. That's the one they've been working on since the 70s when I was a leftist and insider. And it was Chryslam.
Can you explain what that is? Because you talk about
It's a
that.
UN Agenda 30, New World Order, that there would be, one world government and one world religion. And they decided, the Canaanites who run the world, I'm losing my train of thought.
Chryslam.
They decided that there would be a big meld between the Vatican and Islam because the Vatican created Islam.
That's correct.
And 1,400 years ago, around the same time they founded Switzerland. But anyway.
So this is a union between Christianity and Islam to create.
Yeah, and it was pioneered by Jeremiah Wright. And of course, that means, Obama was a member, Oprah was a member, Michelle Obama was a member, anybody who was anybody was a member. It was Farrakhan light, because Farrakhan's not for Chryslam, although he speaks Chryslam. And, all of it is basically a jihadi crusade against the Jews. And, they don't want it to be true that God said we would go back to our tribal burial grounds and our ancient homeland and make the desert bloom as the rose and everything else that the Torah says will happen and is happening. Oh, they hate that. How could that happen when obviously God doesn't still have a covenant with the Jewish people? Because look at them. Look at them. You know what they did. They're demonic. Oh, they're demonic. Therefore, wait a minute. The Jews are demonic. Yet everything in the Torah, in Jeremiah and Zechariah, is happening right now. Everything predicted and prophesied is happening right now. So you're saying that the God who chose them and that they are inextricably bound to their souls, you're saying he's a demon? You're saying God that wrote the Torah is demonic? You know what? That's called the perverse reverse.
So
And
Christianity and Islam.
because fuck Chryslam, fuck you, fuck all y'all. God is removing the Arab rough class at
Well,
the
hold on.
root all over the world right now.
Chryslam is not Christianity and Islam. Chryslam is its own thing, right? Like followers of Chryslam are not Christian and they're not Islam. They're not Muslim, right? That it's like a hybrid that they only know they're
Well,
involved in.
everything's a hybrid.
But I'm just saying, Chryslam's not like every Christian and every Muslim is in this thing. Chryslam is its own little subgroup, right?
Well, it bleeds out. It's every leftist synagogue, for instance, is Chryslamic.
Yeah, Jews are complicit in this as well.
Absolutely.
And is this why Candace and Jake Shields and those kinds of types talk about Christianity and how great Islam is to Christ, even though they're beheading Christians all over the world, and they never mention the beheading and killing of Christians over the globe by Islamists? Is that why they don't mention it? Because that's the thing that's always stood out to me about Candace is like, hey, it's cool that you're on this, but why do you hold on a second? Why do you never mention? Why does Candace never mention the horrors that are happening to Christians around the globe? It seems like she's Christ King, Miss Christ King. She's very Christian. She's with Andrew Tate and Kanye.
She does mention it, Jake.
When? I've never seen her mention it.
Mentions Christians are the most persecuted minority on earth right now. She does say that.
Did she say by who?
Huh?
Is she
No,
known? That's interesting.
no.
Why does
And
she
then
not
she
say that?
blames the Jews.
I
So that's
know.
Chryslam.
That's what I'm asking because it
She's the
makes
queen.
zero sense.
She is, because Prince Charles,
Hmm.
he's the head of Chryslam. He's the king of Chryslam through the UN and all his fucking, what do they call it? Climate change horseshit,
Hmm.
his royal grift. Um, he is very Muslim in the things he says, if you listen. And he's also supposed to be the head of the Anglican Church. That's where it's going to happen. And it is happening. And it's happening with this new Pope, too. He's Chryslamic, and he's slipping it all in there, all of it about, um, you know, we know what it is. It's everybody should read the Jesuit Oath, and then you'll know. Read it. Um,
I imagine it's to separate the chosen people of God from God, right? Because they have no power if Jews are safe in Israel. This is just me guessing. I don't know what I'm talking about, but is that what it is? Because it
well,
does seem very strange. Their hatred of Jews in Israel right now. I mean, even Grok, fucking, I told you this week, he went Mecha Hitler, and this is a programmed AI counterpart of X under Elon Musk, and like Dan Balzerian and Jake Shields are like, even Grok knows Jews are evil. And it's like that's an AI program with predictive text. It's not a thinking machine. So it thinks that way because it's reading the messaging and the
that's
narrative.
the
Wants to
MK
confirm.
Ultra mind control, German
Right.
programming,
But
Nazi.
there has to be some reason for that because Jew hate.
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
truth
what is it?
is
Mm-hmm.
that they are calling out the Arab Rav. Well, they think all Jews are they think all Jews are Arab Rav, though. That's where they're going to go to hell for that.
Yeah.
But they're calling out the Arab Rav, and the Arab Rav are being exposed, and the Arab Rav are it's in the Bible that they left with the tribes that left Egypt, and they were the courtiers of Pharaoh. Like the doctors, lawyers,
Yeah.
um, priest class, and so of course they were familiar with the black Babylonian arts that Pharaoh, uh,
Used.
believed in, including child sacrifice. And God told Moses not to take them out, but they were mixed. They were mixed. They were Jews that intermarried with Pharaoh. So God told Moses, "Don't take them out because they can't change, and they'll be the bane of your existence." And that was all proven true. They're the reason Moses couldn't go ever into Zion, which God made up that word Zion. He's the first Zionist God,
Mm-hmm.
and Moses was prevented from going there because he always coddled the Arab and always said, they can change, they can change. But God said, they cannot change. What God was saying is, they are people who have no souls.
That's like the
They
lefty.
are messengers.
Yeah.
They're negative angels. They're they're here to be a mirror for all the evil in the world and then reflect it back to people so that people think it's reality, but it's not reality. They're black magicians of reversal. And, they know all that shit. They are AI, they're artificial intelligence.
Well, they're
But
lefty Jews, right? A lot of it are the lefty Jews. Let's call it what it is. This is the people
they
that.
are, here's what they are Jews in name only,
Ginos.
who are mixed with, you know, generally it is that their mothers are Jew haters.
Hmm.
and their father's a fucking idiot, that left his people for a beauty queen or something, it's that. Their moms are Jew haters and they're mixed. So, like, of course, they're full of self hatred, but they've got a lot of symptoms like, their need to take the side of the genocidal enemy and say, as a Jew, I support the genocidal enemy. That's what they are, because they're that sick and twisted. They hate themselves that bad. They support the genocide of their own people. And they're not just Jews. There's blacks like that. There's Hispanics. There's everybody like that. It's not just Jews, the Arab Rob. The Arab Rob is a spiritual disease of self-annihilation. And it speaks like a snake. It's forked tongue. It has it can't really be human because it doesn't have the desire to live, and humans have the desire to live, and humans have the desire to gather together and to unite and have community and look out for each other, take care of each other's kids when needed. Humans have a social need for community and love, but they don't. They only want to destroy what is God's and what is in the Torah, and they hate the Jews. They are the number one enemy of the Jewish people is the Arab Rav. I call them the good teachers of bad information, such as everybody you're seeing now, American halfwits that are using the fact that they have some kind of a Jewish surname to support Hamas and genocide against the only Jewish state in the world where second most amount of Jews live. And they're just lemmings, and they are living lemming speak. And they are the reason that everyone is coming against the Jews, them, because they open the door, they give permission, they open Pandora's box by saying, as a Jew, I know that Jews are demonic and should all be killed. As a Jew, I say that. That's what they're saying. And then everybody that already is programmed with MK Ultra to look at the Jews like they're not fully human, they go, look, a Jew's saying it, so it must be true. That's their role and what it has always been. They've always turned in the Jewish people, the Arab Rav,
Soros,
the mixed multitude. And why? Because they rob everything that ain't nailed down after they, get them killed.
Yeah.
And they hide behind that because they're getting rich off it. That's what Switzerland was founded for, to launder the money stolen from the Jewish people in the Levant, which they talk about that Balfour bullshit. That Balfour thing was that hugely to give the Jewish people back the land in the Bible. And they so want to go, oh, the Bible's all bullshit, especially the part where it talks about the Jews are going to come back to their land and make it bloom like that. Oh, of course, that's all horseshit, but it's happening. So
it's a Christian Islamic convergence to separate the chosen people from God, right? That's what you're saying, because that's what I'm seeing.
No, it is a Jewish civil war that spreads out across the world.
Okay.
And it is to destroy everything that is God's. Everything that is God's dominion, everything that God created, everything that belongs to God, everybody who believes in God, everybody who is connected to Torah, which that's all Abrahamic religions, whether they want to believe it or not, but it's to destroy all of that and replace it with a Monsanto-like
Mm-hmm.
man-made, pedophile-made, created one world religion that when you say something wrong, your bank account is frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Track and trace communism. They're all in bed together. And the one thing they have in common is their loathing of God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They loathe that guy, loathe, and fear. And they don't like the Jews because we study every word he ever gave us, upward, downward, backward, sideways, letter by letter, searching for the connection to the source that created it. And they hate our connection to God. They hate it, and they hate us for it, because it just proves that they're not God. And it also proves that, they made a big fucking mistake. And boy, they don't ever want to be exposed. For one thing, the worst thing is for them to ever say they're sorry, which they aren't for anything. They're never sorry. They have no humility, no self-reflection is part of humility. I mean, humility is part of self-reflection.
Yes.
They have no they don't care. They just don't care. They don't care how many die because of the bet they made that morning. They could give a shit. Even if it's a whole tribe of people, they could give a shit. Oh boy, more shit too for the corporate state of the Fourth Reich. And they love paying youth to get out there and fucking fight their battle for them. For evil against the freedom of youth. And these motherfuckers are so stupid and so desperate to have some money for what? Shoes that they've sold their souls. And nobody even calls them on it. Nobody even fucking calls them on rooting for the genocide of the Jewish people in 2025.
Yeah,
And you have no shame for it. And you never did have no shame for it since this shit started. You've
No,
never had any shame.
I see him celebrating.
Shameless. You are
Because
shameless and hateful and demonic and Jacques. Kiss my fucking ass. Jacques. You better back off, because I'll tell you one thing. I have spent many years, the last years of my life, because I love Sojourner Truth so much, and she's an idol of mine, and she will go out there and say, I'm trying to help save white people from going straight to hell. That's why I'm telling you these things. And, I think I got that same thing in me. I am trying to help you fucking Jew hating people. I'm trying to prevent you going straight to hell for your double standards and your demonization of my people and me and all the Jews in the world who do not believe that everyone must think exactly like us or they deserve to die. We don't believe that you go to hell if you don't believe like we do. We're not like you. You're not like us. You're not like us. We believe in freedom and connection to God and self-reflection and repentance and self-accountability, because we love. Because we love. We don't hate. We refuse to go to that level of your shit. You better wake up. I'm trying my damnedest to save y'all from going straight to hell. I've put 20 years behind it. because of all the riches I was given. I gave it back. I said, I'm going to save these people that don't even know that they're under lemming fucking Fourth Reich bullshit mind control of fiefdom under kings. They don't even fucking know it. And I've tried everything I can. What do I get? 2 views? Whatever. I'm doing it for God. That's what Paul Mooney said. Paul Mooney said, I go, why do we even fucking bother with these idiots? And Paul Mooney said, you got to do it for Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And I just laugh and go, yeah, you do.
You do.
Got to do it for God. You got to do it for Jesus. You got to do it for the truth. You've got to do it because that's what.
Well, let me tell you what, because it's fascinating to me.
The God I believe in says to do.
Well, I've been focusing on it. You know, I can't go on social media anymore. And it's not because like I get angry or triggered. I'm just looking and go, what a waste of fucking time it is now. It's not the internet I remember. It's just sort of a circle jerk, to use your terminology. And I can see objectively the beast feeding itself. And these people, Dan Balzerian, for example, or Jake Shields, these accounts I follow, they drive me crazy, but I think they're hilarious. Like when Grok went Mecha Hitler, they were celebrating like we are now winning. And they don't realize that they're in a satanic circle jerk against themselves.
They don't know it's the devil. Hey, God says in the Torah there, Genius says, God says that he created this world so that it would be a battlefield between good and evil, and people would have to pick. That's what we're here for. And that's what God says in the Torah.
Yeah,
and that's what they don't want us to know. This is a theater piece about good versus evil. And whose side are you going to be on? I think it would behoove people to be on the side of the guy. You may not know, I'll introduce you. His name's God. You should be on his side and his book that he left, where everything in it is coming true right now. You should be on the side of that. You should not be on the side of people who
are evil,
are reviled by history, like Pol Pot, Hitler. And mass murderers, Stalin, Hitler. There's so many of them now.
Marx.
Yeah,
but let me just finish this thought, because it is fascinating as I watch it. Social media, because it is a lot of MK Ultra mind control on there. It's also in the algorithm because it's designed to keep you on your phone scrolling so they can sell you ads. There's a lot of reasons for it. But the bottom line is I'm literally watching in real time people talking to themselves. You once said famously on this podcast, it's AI fighting with AI. It's a little bit of AI against AI and people against people, but you actually see this sort of spinning vortex of horseshit. And now they're in a total feeding frenzy where they think they're controlling the narrative. Like they're celebrating Grok going Mecha Hitler, for instance. And they don't realize that they are in a mind control spin that we all can objectively see is purely evil.
We can see them. They don't think people can see them.
No, they do. They think know what they're doing.
They don't think people know what they're doing.
No, they think they're winning. And that let's not even make this about the Jew. They think people that actually believe in God and are good are losing the narrative to them, because now they're really having this awakening and mass thing. And they're wrong every day. They get proven wrong every day. And they keep this cycle. And I had to quit because it wasn't even like, oh my God, they want Jews dead, I'm so scared. It was like, oh my God, these people are retarded. And they're just circling and they don't even know what the fuck's going on. Why am I spending my time watching or commenting even? They have no hope for any redemption.
No, I'll tell you why, but I got to go get a cigarette, so hang on.
Well, we can wrap too.
No, I don't want to wrap.
Oh, well. Bubby's asleep, so anyway, hey, Bubs. It's all right. I can tell the podcast is good when you're sleeping. Yeah. We're still on.
Okay, I want to join you.
She's going to the bathroom. I just want to finish this thought while Mom's gone, because sometimes she doesn't let me finish the thought. This sort of sinking down the drain of satanic evil. I mean, I'm literally watching people go, we have to kill all the Jews. And they think that they are spreading the word of God and Jesus and that we are satanic. And they keep doing this. And they have there's not one moment, Mom, I was just finishing my thought. There's not one moment where they go, hey, are we the asshole here? Are we asking for people to be murdered? Like, are we doing something wrong? They don't do it. And it's sad. And I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm not scared.
It's like, are we actually cheering for the genocide of the Jewish people in
They are.
their homeland that the
They are.
Bible talks about in our
Yeah.
Christian faith and
They're
Muslim?
not-
Even the Muslim faith has it.
Mom, they're not just
They don't
cheering.
know their own Bible, so they're captured.
They're not just cheering. I'll let you talk. I'll stop talking for this, but they're not cheering about the genocide of Jews that's oncoming. They're cheering that the narrative is spinning in their favor without the realization that they are being manipulated by an algorithm and AI to make them think that their narrative is winning when it's not. No, if you get off the internet and go outside, no one's like, kill the goddamn Jews. You don't see it. You go to a coffee shop, people are like, what the? On the internet, it's spinning. That's what I mean, a cycle. It's a drain cycle of psychosis. And they think that they're winning. And I watched this. The last thing I'll say is Ian Carroll and Jake Shields. I've seen them go, why is Laura Loomer not changing her mind? I got more retweets and likes than her. Surely that should change her mind to go against her people and become a retard. And they think because they're getting likes and retweets that they're onto something, not realizing they're on an algorithm designed to feed you what you want so that you stay on it so they can sell you ads, you stupid fucking retards. You're getting sold ads and you think you're winning some great Christian battle against God. You're just an asshole. You're a Nazi asshole and you're not going anywhere and you have no power. And that's why you're so frustrated. And we're just going to leave social media and let you have it. And we're going to go out in the real world and be successful like we always are. And you're going to hate us when you go to your goddamn Walmart shift every day and blame the Jews. Whatever you want to do, push the fucking mop. Shut the fuck up.
The people at Walmart ain't the ones thinking that. It's the people in the ivory towers thinking it. The regular people love Jews.
I don't think
you. It's right down. 51% of Christian and Muslim loves the Jewish people.
Oh, Bubby has something to say, Mom. Sorry.
30% doesn't give a shit, and 20% hates our guts. That's how it goes.
What did you say?
Oh, what, Mama?
Was never a Christian. Jesus
was a Jew.
Was never anything but a Jew.
No, it's true. Jesus was a Jew, but apparently they in their cycles say that that's not true. Jesus, they're now we're Khazarians, and those Jews are not the same as the Jews today. I've seen all the arguments. Anyway, I'm going to have the floor.
DNA proves every Ashkenazi Jew has North African DNA roots.
And it doesn't matter. A Jew is a state of mind. It's a religion. I mean, you're going to get mad at me. I don't think it should even have to do your genealogy. If you believe in God of Torah.
Now, if your DNA says you originate from the Levant, that actually is proof that you do originate from the Levant. So zip it.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying
science matters.
Yeah.
Not Monsanto, but science with a control group. Right? With a control group.
What do you think of the Texas floods? Well, we got to talk about it because it's horrible. It's a half hour from our house, that horrible thing that happened. Do you think that was cloud seeding, or do you think it was a natural disaster? Because we've been in Texas for a few years. I've never seen a storm like that. And I know Texas has big storms every 5 to 10 years, but this was record. The river rose 40 feet in hours in the middle of the night. And the head of, I forget the company, but they were admitted to cloud seeding in the area
Monsanto?
2 days before. It's not Monsanto, but it's one of the guys from Palantir, which is the AI company that Trump just gave all this power to, and they killed a whistleblower a few months ago, Christians. But I'm not going to be like them. I'm not going to go, oh, these are Christians that are killing the world. They're assholes. I don't care what their faith is.
Yeah, everybody, it doesn't matter what you believe or what you say you believe. What matters is what you do.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what we need to get out.
That's what shows what you really believe, what you do, not what you say.
Do you think it was weather mod? Because you've lived in Hawaii. We know about the Lahaina fire. It seems everywhere you and I go, something horrible happens. Maybe we should stay inside for a while. But Hawaii fires, LA fires, the floods in Texas, these are all within. We've seen these out our window in 3 different states at the time we've been there. this can't just be coincidental. This can't be global warming or whatever they want to call it. It has to be some kind of weather mod, right? Or am I crazy? That's why I want to give you the floor. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll leave.
I really have to say, I think it's at this time, it's inconsequential to try to figure it out. And I think it's also evil to try to figure it out at this time. When people are floating down river and needing help desperately, and you're sitting there on your computer looking up cloud monitor, I mean, get out there and help the people who need help. Give up your isolated time on the internet where it's nothing but bullshit and lies, and go out and help your neighbors. You've got extra food, if you do. You've got old clothes. You got old pillows. Look in your storage in your basement or your attic. You can share something with people who are suffering, and I think that's all that matters right now. And on the other front of the weather as a weapon of war, people are working on it. People are looking into it. They'll let you know when the time's right. They are working on it, and it will be exposed, and we will stop it, and we'll get the truth. But who don't be sidetracked. Get out there and perform all the good deeds you can possibly perform in this world, because Satan hates that. And we should be doing everything we can to piss him off, because the more pissed off he gets, the weaker he gets. And you know what makes him even weaker than weak is showing love to our fellow human beings. So let's go out there and do our duty and stop this shit. We'll figure it out. They're working on it. Our job is to alleviate the suffering of our neighbors and our fellow human beings, not sit there figuring out who, what, why, or wherefore. Once we do that and have self-reflection, the world will change in an instant, and there won't be any more evil in it, because we will have figured out how to fix ourselves and our families and our communities and take care of all of the above and become what we were supposed to be, a nation of like-minded people who are working towards beauty, greatness, peace, and justice. That's what we're here for, so let's do it.
Beautiful. All right. Do you want to wrap up?
And I just have to say before we end, I just want to say, my mother, I love her so much. She is a wonderful woman. She is the funniest woman in the world. She is so funny, and she is so spry for being 92. I mean, Mom, you really have your wits about you, and I'm proud of you, and I love you, and thanks for participating in this show today. It was a blessing for me. Thank you, Mother.
It was totally
So-
unexpected.
And my blessing was that God gave you to me to be my daughter. That is a great blessing no one can ever understand. And I'm the one that's grateful. And I learned from you, and I'm going to continue to learn from you.
Well, I learned from you too, Mom. So let's go learn how to eat something. I'm starving.
I just wrestled these from Bubby's cold fingers.
What, my marijuana pen?
Yeah, she's still spry. Getting high over here.
Try it?
No, I just fuck with it. Do you want to try and get high?
I wish you would try it. Well, she never wants to try it after she ate all the marijuana cheesecake in my fridge.
But have you ever done the right amount of weed? Because one time we did weed, you had to go
26 doses of my
Only that time I ate it all.
medical marijuana in the form of cheesecake.
Mom's still talking. Can you hear us? Oh, Bubby was talking. No, I said, have you ever... Noemi, get back here. Have you ever tried the right amount of weed? Because she did an OD on weed, but she's never actually tried.
Yeah.
She doesn't need it.
Just to be alive and to be here.
All right, God bless. You want to wrap up, Mom?
God bless. Huh?
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. It's a beautiful day, and so you see, my patience is running thin with this synthetic bullshit fucking world we're trapped in.
Oh, you see,